guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make a really fabulous and delicious pumpkin chocolate chip cookie. Now I'm sure I have shared many pumpkin cookies here with you in the past before, but this is just another version, and I figured, can you really get enough cookies around this time of year? Because I know I can't. So I'm thrilled to share this recipe with you. The list of ingredients is not very long, and they're all the right ones. Soft brown sugar, granulated sugar, all-purpose flour, pumpkin pie spice, baking soda and salt, melted unsalted butter, lots of semi-sweet chocolate chips, some pure pumpkin puree, an egg, and some vanilla extract. And that is it. And it's super easy and super simple. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix together both kinds of sugar. Now I'm using melted butter because I find that it gives you a much crispier, like not really crispier edge, like a fried chicken, like just like a better texture base for your cookie. So I'm going to use, I read this tip in a magazine not too long ago, and it really is kind of life-changing, I have to tell you. Add that right in, and then you can do this with your standing mixer if you want to, but I'm just going to do this by hand, and I'm just going to mix this for a couple of minutes. I just want to make sure that there are no giant lumps anywhere. So just take a couple minutes to whisk them together. Perfect. All right, then you add your pumpkin puree. Make sure it's not pumpkin pie filling, because pumpkin pie filling and pure pumpkin puree are two very different things. Pure pumpkin puree is exactly what it sounds like. It's pure pumpkin pureed. That's it. Pumpkin pie filling has spices and sugar and milk in there, so you don't want that. So you need your egg. Shake your vanilla if it's homemade vanilla. Add a splash in there. And then just mix these to combine. Awesome. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my dry ingredients and just give them a little mix. Doesn't have to be thoroughly mixed. And I'm going to add my chocolate chips at the same time because I added the melted butter. Sometimes what I find is if I incorporate my dry ingredients and then add my chocolate chips, because the butter's been melted, the chocolate chips don't incorporate through the batter evenly. So if you add them all at the same time, I just find that it works better. But at the end of the day, you're still getting chocolate chips in here, so you're fine. And now just fold it all together until it's all combined, and that's it. Okay, this looks awesome. All I'm gonna need to do now, I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap, and it needs to go in the fridge for about an hour to chill the dough. And then right before you take it out, make sure you preheat your oven to 375 and you get a couple of baking sheets ready to go, because these are going to take no time at all in the oven. So I'm just going to cover these up, then get my oven preheated, and then we'll start scooping them up. My dough is looking awesome. It's in the fridge for about an hour. I've got my oven preheating to 375. That's got a few more minutes left to go for preheating because I forgot. I'm just going to start scooping out my cookies. You know, handy dandy ice cream scoop. My favorite is the one that's the equivalent to 1 tablespoon. That's what I use as my standard for cookies. And then my standard for cupcakes or muffins or whatnot is the 1/4 cup ice cream scoop. Just so that we're clear. I mean, you could make 1/4 cup cookies if you want to, the real big ones that you'd be living. But for today, I'm just going to use the smaller one. And just like always, just pop them onto your baking sheet, leaving a little space between them so that they don't all stick. And that's it. I mean, it's easy peasy. Cookies are ready to go. My oven is preheated. Now, whenever I bake cookies and I'm doing 2 batches, 2 baking sheets, I always place one of my racks in the lower third of my oven and the other one in the upper third of my oven. And then what I do is I put them in there, and then halfway through baking time, I rotate them. I rotate the baking sheets just for even baking. So that's what I'm going to do with these. They're going to go in there for 10 minutes, and 9 to 10 minutes. Keep an eye on them. But halfway through, just rotate the baking sheet for even baking, then let them cool, and I'll show you what they look like when they're done. My cookies were in the oven for exactly 10 minutes. I've got another batch back there. Now remember, I rotated my baking sheets halfway through. I've let these cool for a bit. They're still warm, which is how a cookie should be. Now, there are a couple different types of cookies, if you will. There is the pumpkin chocolate chip cookie that's very cake-like and it's very soft, almost resembles the texture of like a muffin top, which I love. Then there's one that's kind of thin and chewy and crispy, kind of reminds you more of a standard chocolate chip cookie. And then there's the one that's in the center, which is this one, which happens to be my personal favorite. But if you want me to make a like thin, chewy pumpkin chocolate chip cookie, I would love to share that recipe with you as well. So if you don't mind those kind of back to back, I'll do that in a couple of weeks. Just let me know down below and I'll do those as well because they're worth sharing. And hey, there's a cookie for everybody. There's a style of cookie for everybody. Am I right or am I right? It's got like that chew, like that really wonderful, my bike, that wonderful crispy edge. Slight chew, but it's still soft in the center, like it's a little bit soft in the center from having that like slightly cake-like texture. To me, it's a winner on every level, but like I said, let me know down below if you want to see a thin and chewy version. I'll sacrifice. I'll make another batch of cookies because you're worth it. Go to laurainthekitchen.com. These are phenomenal. They are beautifully flavored, not overpowering, because I don't like when something is so overpowering that you can't taste the chocolate. What's the point of that? Go to laurainthekitchen.com to get the written recipe. I hope you've enjoyed spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So good. Somebody unplugged my phone from the charger, and it ain't cool. I'm on strike until somebody fixes it. Thank you so much.